Hi there. Thanks so much for joining in this conversation. It's been a pretty feverish conversation all weekend ever since this happened. Do you feel that the apology KSI made was simply a kind of knee-jerk, pretty textbook thing without much heart or soul?
Well, as you said, KSI is somebody with 9 million followers on Twitter, 19 million on YouTube.
Wow.
And he's clearly shaping what young people hear and, of course, then repeat. So, I mean, he does have a responsibility. And I hope that goes beyond that empty apology. And he uses his platform to educate his followers on why this, like the N-word, is no laughing matter. And as you said, I mean, what's shocking is that nobody on the panel or those that edited it or broadcast it objected or thought it should be removed. Look, it's a vile racial slur. It's painful to hear, and it really did send a shudder up my spine.
Okay, just explain to people who may be listening to this or watching this now, Asad, who still think it's funny, they think it's a joke, they grew up using it, their parents always used it, they used it as a way to describe the shop on the corner, they used it on the way to describe certain kinds of foods, they used it as a kind of unthinking, inaccurate, usually, adjective that you just flung in. They won't maybe understand why it would cause this level of offence, why it's racist, why it hurts you to hear this. Well, so can you maybe give us a chance to hear you give the reasons? That would be great.
Sure, Vanessa.
Thank you.
I mean, it's a derogatory word. It was really popularised by the Skinheads and the National Front, and it was a word that we heard daily as part of racist abuse. It was daubed on our houses, it was attached to the bricks that went through our windows, and it accompanied whether it was the petrol bombs or the boots as we were attacked by racist gangs. So we've heard it. We heard it in the schoolyard, in the streets, and on our TV screens. And whenever we heard that word, we paid a heavy price for it. So it's not just a word. There's a word with a meaning and a deep history and a reality to it. So, to be honest, you know, when you hear this word, I mean, it's like the N-word, right? I mean, it is designed to be hurtful, and it normalizes a popular racism. So, absolutely, when I heard it, it just made me realise all the sacrifices we made, the struggles against racism, we fought against the physical attacks and the racism, how much we have to continue to struggle against the normalisation of racism. And it's as important now as then. And I have to say, and I know it's slightly going off topic, but, you know, the whole weekend for me was quite shocking because I also listened to the Home Secretary repeating really lies and hate-mongering about grooming gangs and the Pakistani community that the EDL and other fascists peddle. And she knows herself that the Home Office own report says there's no link between grooming gangs and ethnicity, that 84% of those responsible are white British. We had the Prime Minister today using the exact phrasing used by Tommy Robinson, that it was political correctness that stopped the police weeding out those vile men who preyed on young girls, and not a failure of policing that stopped them treating those young girls with the support they needed, or that was the cuts in child protection services that put them at risk. Look, today I've looked at my social media and it's full of racists basically repeating both the words of KSI and the words of the Home Secretary, and justifying it and saying, well, if the Prime Minister and the Home Secretary and KSI can say these things, it's normal. And when I hear those normal words, I'm just struck that in the last 2 weeks, in our community, we've had 2 elderly men, you know, attacked and set alight as they were coming home from the mosque. These words have a price, and we've always said it, when racist words are played out, whether it's in the mainstream or in the media or normalised by politicians for electoral purposes, people pay the price, usually in physical attacks.
I asked you to explain and describe the hurt. My God, you've done a terrific job of doing that. I'm very glad we had you on the programme. Thank you so much. Thank you.